Now, still on transfers, let's talk about one player. He's back to his parent club, Cyril Dessers, and he scored in his first game. The Belgian Pro League resumed this past weekend. They scored, but they lost in that game. Onachu wasn't dressed in that game, so maybe that move might just happen. But for Cyril Dessers, we don't know yet. But for Cyril Dessers, just this morning, there were reports that newly promoted Syria outside Cremonese are close to signing Cyril Dessers from KRS again. I mean, we talked about this last season. Dessers was all firing.
People said that Taiwan only should have stayed with Union Berlin so that Cremonese people where they born dead body.
We saw they will come and this is a guy who was the highest goal scorer in UEFA's maiden competition last season in the Europa Conference League. I mean, now he's back to Genk, his parent club, but Cremonese newly promoted. You don't know. I mean, it's we don't know what might happen, but I mean
they might get relegated. Let's not say you don't know what might happen. They might get relegated.
No, we've seen teams come and they held their own, they stay and all that.
Where's Simiwako now?
That I was just about to go there. He went to Salernitana, a newly promoted team.
They went back. With them.
They went back and he went again to Serie B. And now he's, what's happening? What's happening with Nigerian players? Emmanuel Dennis, we saw that, Nottingham Forest, they've pulled out of the deal and all that. I mean, there are talks that they found out something about his attitude and all that. Nigerian players and what's happening with this obscure move from Nigerian players and all that?
I think that people forget that football is just 25% of the package. And when we talk about attitude, players don't know the right time to have attitude. Neymar have attitude, Rafinha have attitude. There are players that would have attitude. The name of their country alone is good enough to keep them on the mind.
Yeah.
Okay? But then there are some players who should realize that, listen, if you're a Nigerian, you will work 10 times as hard to get the things that other people get with ease. You need to put in that. You need to know. Not knowing that is the problem where we get this run to the top and come down. Look at Osimhen. Osimhen is on top of his game. Osimhen is supposed to be like one of the players everybody's talking about in this transfer. But you see the things that are happening around Osimhen right now, it's not going to only affect this window, but it's going to linger on for a very long time. The people, that boy's got problem.
Yeah.
That boy's got problem.
It's not the first time agent issue has been coming up.
Now it's a consistent thing with him. As much as you try to love him, and then now the hate is also coming from his home, like from his own house. There are people in Nigeria who don't like him before. We try as much as possible to douse it and keep it down. Keep it down to his age and all that. But there is so long as you can defend a recalcitrant child, and then you have to use the cane on them. There's so long as you can defend someone who is not doing the right things in some basic way. Is he a good footballer? You can't even argue about that. He's a fantastic footballer. But you see, the thing about football is, football, they don't judge just football. They're going to judge a lot of things. It's like when you want to get a job, that's always very funny for me. They need a reference from the company you work with before. So let me give you a good example. Imagine me going to look for a job and I need Brilla to reference me. I know I've already lost the job. Not like I did bad, but because my former employers, the kind of hatred that oozes from that space.
Hello, my name is Sumaira. I am from Pakistan, and you are watching Better TV Radio. Please subscribe. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Abdullah Wali. I'm from Pakistan, the #1 country in the world in cricket. You're watching Better Sports TV Radio. Please subscribe.
So sometimes you look at that and say, okay, you know what? Just be the very best that you can be. Play this football, set good target, be the very, very best. And don't let things. The worst thing that can ever happen to a footballer is to let the things outside of the field to be the things that would stop you from making progress in the game of football. That's ridiculously bad. It's annoying. Emmanuel Dennis, the world will know the story. Watford actually helped to launder his image. So it's not like anything. If anybody come and talk about Emmanuel Dennis' personality and character, I will get angry. No, that's who he is. Okay, and this things always catch up with you. Okay, for the other players that are not getting the move, what's it called, Cyril Dessers, I am not surprised about it. Again, this now puts Taiwan in good space because he made the right decision. I'm sure if it is Nottingham Forest that had gone for Cyril Dessers, everybody will be happy, shouting hooray, hooray. He made a good move from Feyernoord, he's gone to Premier League. But when this boy left Union Berlin, everybody was saying, no, Nigeria, he shouldn't have gone there. Like, my question was always, Who tell Una say any of the big club they look Nigerian players? Nigerian players, many clubs don't want to talk about them. Like, who want to do this? Oh, no, come on, I don't want this player. First off, there is the whole thing about we are age cheaters.
Exactly.
Every Nigerian player you see,
there's a lot of
I've got 10 years. I've got 10 years from their years. We cannot get them consistently for long, and we don't want those kind of players. That's one. Two, there is the inconsistency of performance that anything that the Nigerian player does looks like a fluke. So you're not sure if it's going to steadily put up this performance. You're going to sign them and put them on a 4 or 5 years contract. You're not sure that performance is going to be consistent. So there is no need going into that kind of business. Business of chance and luck is not the kind of business you go. You go for business that you can scientifically tell yourself that this investment is the right investment, and it's going to, if I put it for 5 years, it's going to give me 3.5 years of consistent performance. But that's not there. So you hear Cremonese signing a player that played in the I beg. Let's not even.
He's not official yet, but they said the deal is closed. That's Fabrizio. He said the deal is close to being completed. He was in Italy days ago with his agent, and he's tempted by the chance to.
I didn't reach out.
So would you prefer he stay with Genk than go to Cremonese? Italians say more visibility.
Visibility.
You're playing in the top flight. It's one of the top 5 leagues in the world. So maybe he saw that and said,
top 5 leagues is when you're playing for Juventus, AC Milan, Inter Milan, and what's it called? All of those big clubs. You can't be playing for Cremonese. You that watch them. How many times do you watch those small teams?
Except when they play against the big teams.
And except when they play against Napoli, against AC Milan, and the rest of them. And sometimes you even ignore it because it's not a big game. It's not going to spark anything. You already know where the result is going to. A team that they would, of all their games that they will play this season, everybody will bet against them. Is the one that you want to go and beg. Let's have a different conversation.
You are listening to Elegbete TV Radio.